Okay, so let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into, well, a really remarkable story of resilience, of transformation. We're talking about Amanda Anisimova. She's just 23, and she hasn't just returned to Wimbledon center court. She's done it after, a really tough period. Heartbreak, burnout, quite the reemergence. So we're going to dig into the documentary Anisimova, Rising Through the Grass at Wimbledon, and really chart her path. Teen prodigy to now Grand Slam finalist.
Right, and I think our mission here for you listening is to get beyond just what happened, the sequence of events. We want to understand why her story is so compelling.
Exactly.
What lessons are there, about perseverance, about mental strength, especially in these incredibly high-pressure sports environments.
And she definitely faced that pressure early. If we cast our minds back to that teen prodigy phase, it's pretty striking to remember her breakout at the French Open in 2019, reaching the semis, youngest semifinalist there since, 2006. And even then, she was quite open about her ambitions. Her idols, Serena Williams, Maria Sharapova.
Right, big names.
You could really feel her drive, even then.
And what's interesting there, I think, is how that kind of explosive early success, while it's amazing, it often brings this just amplified pressure. For someone young like Amanda, who also had this really close bond with her father, who was her coach too, that weight of expectation isn't just external, it's, deeply personal. It makes the journey tougher when you're immediately compared to legends at that age.
Yeah, absolutely. And that pressure, well, tragically, it became almost overwhelming when life dealt that huge blow. The documentary really captures that shift, that pivotal downturn when her father and coach, Konstantin, passed away in 2019.
Such a difficult time.
And that loss had such a profound impact. It led to her announcement in 2023, taking a break from tennis, burnout. And she was just incredibly raw about it, saying, and this is a direct quote, "It's become unbearable. My priority is my mental well-being."
That decision, it wasn't just personal. It felt like a really powerful public statement.
It did.
What really stands out is the courage, the sheer courage it took for a young athlete, especially one at her level, to be that open about mental health over competition. Her vulnerability, I think, really helped push forward a conversation that was already starting, about athlete well-being. It amplified it.
Thankfully, though, that difficult period wasn't the end of her story, was it?
No, not at all.
She signaled this really decisive new chapter, returning to competition in January 2024. But it wasn't just her coming back. It was like a whole new setup, a refined team supporting her.
Right.
Coach Rick Vleeshowers, physio Shadi Soleimani, fitness coach Rob Brandsma. It felt very strategic, conscious.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, in modern sports recovery, it really shows how we understand holistic support now. It's not just the coach anymore, is it? It's this whole ecosystem. Physical, mental, emotional recovery, all tied together. Her building that kind of team, it really speaks to that proactive approach. It's becoming vital for athletes who want, long-term success and well-being.
And the results.
They came fast.
Amazingly fast.
Winning the 2025 Doha WTA 1000 title, her biggest title yet, just showed she was right back in form. And her ranking climb was just as dramatic. From World No 442 when she returned,
Right down there,
to World Info 13 by June 2025.
Just incredible.
It really is.
And that momentum, that sort of new focus, it carried her straight into Wimbledon 2025.
Right onto the grass courts.
The documentary shows her just dominating those early rounds, strong wins, Putintseva, Zarazua, Galfinaskova.
Just powering through.
And then came this really significant milestone. Youngest American semifinalist at Wimbledon since Serena Williams back in 2004.
And this raises, I think, an important point about legacy, doesn't it? How these young talents aren't just achieving things for themselves, but they're kind of carrying the torch for the sport.
Yeah, like passing it on.
Exactly. For Amanda, those parallels to Serena, they're not just stats. They highlight this deeper story about, exceptional American talent emerging again on these massive stages. It feels like witnessing maybe a new flame igniting in that same sort of historical line.
Her mental toughness was definitely on display too. That quarterfinal against Pavlyuchenkova.
Oh, that was tense.
Saved multiple set points, won it in straight sets, just showed incredible grit, real resolve. And that really set the scene for this semifinal showdown.
Against the world number one.
Against Sabalenka, yeah. And what a match. Thrilling victory, 6-4, 4-6, 6-4. And again, that stat. Youngest U.S. finalist since Serena in 2004.
Just amazing consistency with that parallel.
And her quotes afterwards, they were just so powerful, so honest. She said, "It's been a year turnaround since coming back." And she also noticed, "I know she's number one, but a lot of people were out cheering for me."
Yeah, and that observation about the crowd, that's key, I think. It really speaks to the narrative power of a comeback story, especially one that comes from such deep personal challenges.
Right.
Fans connected with her vulnerability, her honesty, her whole journey back. It wasn't just any underdog, it was her specific underdog story. And that kind of genuine support from the crowd, it can almost feel like, actual fuel for an athlete in those huge moments.
And the documentary also gives us these really nice kind of grounding moments away from just the tennis.
Yeah, the human side.
There's that scene, Amanda hugging her nephew on court. It just powerfully shows that family strength, that emotional anchor for her.
Lovely moment.
And then there's this other detail that I found really fascinating. Her aspirations outside of tennis.
Oh, yeah.
She wants to be a surgeon. She actually said, "If I didn't play tennis, I'd want to be a surgeon. I want to go to med school."
Wow. That's revealing, isn't it?
It is.
It speaks to this real breadth of intellectual curiosity she has. Ambition beyond just sport. It kind of challenges that idea that elite athletes are only defined by their sport. It shows they're these multifaceted people with diverse dreams, passions, and clearly incredible mental capacity. Suggests her focus and precision could translate well elsewhere.
So Amanda Anisimova's journey, it's just such a testament to the human spirit, isn't it?
Absolutely.
From teenage sensation through burnout and just profound loss to this incredible reemergence on the world's biggest stage. It's just a powerful story of resilience and grace, not just as a player, but as a person.
It really is. And her story definitely challenges how we might think about success and well-being, especially in really competitive fields. It pushes us to see the whole person, not just the performer.
Yeah.
And, what about that dual ambition? Tennis and medicine, what does that suggest about the different kinds of paths someone can carve out for a fulfilling life? It leaves you wondering, looking ahead, what might her next chapter really hold? Both on the court and maybe off it too, given that unique mix she has of talent, drive, and it seems real compassion. Lots to think about there.